guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back on here to basically talk a little bit about being a stay-at-home mom and what my experience was like being a stay-at-home mom. Just a little disclaimer, this is only my opinion, my experiences. Other women may have had different experiences or different feelings towards it, and that's okay. I'm not on here to, for anyone to agree with me or not, but I'm sure a lot of women have gone through the different feelings of being a stay-at-home mom, just like I did. I know I'm not the only one out there that felt that way, but I'm just here just to kind of talk about being a stay-at-home mom and what it's like, what was like, because I'm no longer stay at home. Well, I work from home now, so I am at home with the kids while they're doing virtual learning, but before that, before I went back to work, I was a stay-at-home mom for about 7 years, from the time my firstborn daughter, she was born back in 2011. I stayed home with her, and it wasn't really by choice. It was more so because while I was on maternity leave, they did lay my department off, so basically I was forced to be at home for a little bit. So I took that opportunity, the advantage of being laid off, and just stayed home with her. And then after that, I did have a couple more children. So yeah, I had the experience of being at home and what it was like on a daily basis, the routines I created with the kids in order to, get everything organized. Because those who know, who have multiple kids, routine is very, very important. Otherwise, you'll just be going crazy. So just to go back a little bit, I always worked since I was 17. I had my first job at 17, and from there on, I always worked. I was a working woman. Even when I moved out of my mother's house, I worked. So I was used to the working mode and getting an income and just being independent and being to help out, to provide for myself and my household. So I was always basically accustomed to working. So once I had my first son, I really didn't stay with him too long for maternity leave. I basically was with him for about 6 weeks. So he was newborn. He was still really little. He was a month and a half old before I had to go back to work. So I really didn't get to enjoy him as a baby or anything like that. My mom was taking care of him, and then, I had other babysitters for him. So I really wasn't there to really take care of him full time, because I worked full time and then went home, and just like anybody else. And once I had my second son, with him, I did stay home about 3 to 4 months. So I was home with him on maternity leave for 3 to 4 months. So I was able to spend a little more time with him than with my first son. And then I had to go back to work. Now for my daughter, which was my third child, my first daughter, she was the one where I got laid off while on maternity leave, because they laid off my department, as I said. And from there on, I stayed home because after I had her, I had 2 more back-to-back after her. So basically, our reasoning for me to staying home was daycare is very expensive. Very expensive. And to pay for each, because I have 4 kids back-to-back that needed daycare. My oldest, there was an age gap from my oldest to my second, so he was like 7 years younger than my second child. So he was already at school and things like that, and he was after school program and all of that. So it wasn't because I needed care for him. It was more so for the little ones that was still little. They were toddlers, and I needed daycare. So we decided for me to stay at home until they got to school age. So that lasted for 7 years that I stayed at home, and during that time, it was a little rough. I was that mom with the big old belly, with a car seat here, another kid here, belly in tow, and just walking to the daycare during rain, snow. I did drive after I had my fourth one. I had to drive. It was just because we moved from New York City to New Jersey, and you have to drive in New Jersey. It's not New York City where there's buses going and coming 24 hours a day. I mean, New Jersey does have public transportation, but not as frequent, and it doesn't have as many routes as New York City does. Well, at least for where we lived at the time in New Jersey. So I had to drive. I had to get my license. It was crucial. I was not trying to take public transportation with all the kids to take my oldest to school. So I got my license, and yeah, I was that mom, like I said, with car seat, one in holding my hand, and with the big belly, walking to school, trying to take kids to daycare. So yeah, we decided to hold off on that, and so I did stay home, and it was hard. I had a schedule in place, so I had the kids, like the ones that were at home, breakfast at a certain time, lunch at a certain time, snack time, dinner time. It was all a routine. I mean, every day, the same routine. And the only reason I did that was because, you know, if you don't have a routine, you have everybody eating different times and doing this and doing that, you're just going to go crazy. So routine was very important to me, to keep them all on track, so I'm not going crazy. And it worked well. So I had that down packed. We did have, my husband's family did live in New Jersey, so we kind of had a little bit of help where, you know, if somebody was off from work, they would come. If I needed to do something, to watch them while I had an appointment, or run here or there, supermarket, all of that. Now, once they got a little bit older, where they were all, you know, walking and out of strollers and all of that, I took all of them with me in tow to the supermarket. You know, if I had to go buy something, I had no choice. I had to do it. And it was rough. You know, when those kids get in tantrums, and it was just a hot mess, but I did it. You know, I had to do it. I had no choice. You know, they were my babies, and I had to take them with me. There was nobody there all the time to help me. My husband was at work. People had to work. So I just did what I had to do. And I've always been that way. I've always been independent. I've always tried to do everything myself, which is a good thing, but can be a bad thing. Because when you feel like you want to be superwoman, super mom, and super everything, it takes a stress and toll on you mentally and physically. So getting to that point, being a stay-at-home mom, it had its advantages. I love my babies. I was able to see them as babies. You know, I was there every day, every minute, see them walk, talk, you know, took them to their doctors. I didn't have to have anyone do that. So I was there, and I saw them grow up, you know, during the time that I was at home with them. So that came out to be a good thing, a great thing. And I thank my husband for, you know, and I thank God for allowing me to have the opportunity to be with the kids as babies and enjoy them as newborns, and not having to worry about leaving them somewhere, because I'm very picky when it comes to who's watching my kids. I do not leave my kids just to anybody, like especially my girls. I mean, even my boys, but I just do not. Only because of the stories that you hear, you know, in the news and things going on. I just, you know, I'm very picky who I leave my kids with. It doesn't matter even if it's family or not. I'm picky with who watches them. So I'm glad that I got that opportunity. But the reason why I also got on here is to also talk about how we give, us as mothers, and also fathers, because there are single fathers out there as well that has to take on this responsibility, or who are stay-at-home dads, because it's not just moms. Um, I came here to talk about how, it's important, obviously, for you to nurture your children and take care of your kids and be there for them because they are your responsibility. You are the parents, and it's both of your responsibilities to take care of them and nurture them and just raise them to be good individuals for on this earth, you know. And that in itself is a very hard job. That this is the biggest responsibility that any parent is ever going to have in their lifetime. Forget about, corporate world out there and your jobs that you work. This, your babies, raising them is the hardest job responsibility that you can ever have. And that's why moms out there, dads out there that stay home and take care of their kids, I commend them all the time. I was there, been there, done that, and I know. It could be gratifying, but it also can take a little bit of a toll on you, only because if you're that person that gives your all to your household, to your babies, to your husband, to your family, and you put yourself on the back burner, it can really, really affect you. It can really affect you. It's not easy. I've been there. I've been the one that gave my all to my kids while I was at home. Even now I do as well. But I've kind of learned to give myself self-care. Self-care is so important. You cannot just give your all and put yourself on the back burner because you're going to burn out. Just like you burn out at work, it happens at home too. So I just came on here to say that I want you moms and dads that stay at home with kids to give yourself that time every day to take care of yourself, to take some time away and just be able to do the things that you like, whether it's, to go out and just take a walk, to go jogging, to do exercise, whatever it is. It's important for you to take care of yourself. Yeah, so self-care is very important. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, your mental health, your physical body, because if you don't take care of yourself, how are you supposed to take care of your babies? Like, how are you supposed to be sane enough to take care of your babies? So, yeah, a lot of women lose themselves, and I was there. I lost myself. I had moved from New York to New Jersey. I had put my studies on hold because, of the babies, and we relocated and everything. And I said, oh, I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. And here I am today. And, I'm trying to go back and finish my undergrad and finish my degree that I started. And it's hard because I give my all to my family. I started second guessing myself. I started like, okay, if I do that, what's gonna do with my kids? Who's gonna watch them? What happens if they call me from school? What happens if there's an emergency? Like, you start second guessing yourself because you give your all to, these little people that are your responsibility. So I feel like you have to take care of yourself first, so you're able to be sane enough, healthy enough, physically, mentally, to take care of your kids, your family, everything else that goes on, because life is very stressful. And there was a point in time where, I just had no outlet. It was just the kids all day, every day, from the minute I woke up until they were going to bed. Once they went to bed, that was the time that I was able to watch TV, and then I was so tired. I didn't even want to give time to my husband because at the end of the day, I was so exhausted that all I wanted to do was just be left alone, basically. And that's the truth. Some women may not say anything. They might not say how they truly feel, but that was my truth. And I know a lot of women go through the same thing. They're tired at the end of the day. You don't want to give any more time to anyone else, your husband, your parents. You don't want to talk on the phone after a certain time. You just want to be left alone in your thoughts and at peace. So it's very important. Like I said, I know because I've been there. I was a stay-at-home mom for 7 years, And it was just that. It was just the kids all day. From the minute I woke up to the moment I went to bed. And I'm not saying that, you know, I don't ever regret my babies. I love them. They all have their own personalities and they just keep me going, basically. But it's important. You have to give yourself self-care. Whatever it is, whatever you enjoy doing out of life, just go for it. Do it. Because these kids are going to grow up and they're going to leave. They're going to leave. They're going to do what they want to do. So you have to make sure that with the things that you wanted to do in life, you accomplish them as well. There's time for everything. There's time, you take care of them. You get their needs met, and, you spend time with them and things like that. But you also have to spend time with yourself and do things that you would like to do. Whether it's school, like I said, whether it's something that you enjoy, a hobby, a passion that you have, do it. Don't wait until, later when they get older, I'll do it. Or, later when they get to school, because let me tell you something, I said the same thing many times. Later when they start school, I'll do it. When they went to school, what happened? I still found another excuse not to do what I needed to do for myself. I said, but now that they're in school, what happens if there's an emergency? I have to be here. Like, you start second guessing yourself because you lose yourself in, being responsible, being there. So it's important to take care of you too. Like I said, if you don't take care of yourself, nobody else is going to do it. Everybody, has their things that they need to do and they want to do, and they're going to do them regardless if you're there or not. So just go ahead and do you. Be responsible, of course. If you're happy, your household's going to be happy, your kids are going to be happy, because you're going to be a more positive person. And that's that. I mean, many moms sometimes don't want to admit it. They feel guilty. They say, well, people are going to think that I don't love my kids, or that I regret my kids because I'm saying that, these things. But it's not that you regret your kids or you don't love them. It's just it's the truth. We're very nurturing people. And that's what we do. Most of us moms, we're just too nurturing. We give ourselves like these are our babies and we got to protect them and all the time, and everything is for them and nothing is for you, and you don't have time to do your nails, you don't have time to do makeup, you don't have time to dress up, then the excuse, to go out, I don't have a baby. Like, all these excuses, whenever you really want to do something, you get it done. If you really want to do it, you just gotta, your mental, you have to kind of think, okay, I have to be also happy. I have to also, enjoy life as well. You enjoy life with your kids, but you also have that moment that you can go do what makes you happy as well. So just, guys, moms and dads out there that have gone through the same thing or are right now going through that, just please take that little bit of time out every day to do something for yourself, something that is an outlet for yourself, that you can be yourself. If you have a hobby, continue working on that. If there's something that you want to do, a goal that you want to reach in life, do it as well. There's time for everything. You just have to make the time. Don't ever say that it's not enough time in the day to do something. You have to make the time. So just do it. As for me, I'm working on that as well. I'm not saying that I've mastered it all, and just because I have, 5 kids and I'm experienced, I still have more to learn. Yes, I've been a mom of, 5 kids for a little while, and I've, the whole routine thing, I feel I have it down packed and everything, but there's other areas in my life that I'm still working on, as what I'm talking about right now, making time for myself, the things I want to do and I want to accomplish. I still can do them. I just got to make the time to do them. Like YouTube. Like this right now, I had to take time away because, believe you me, a few minutes before I got on here, I was just like, I just had finished cooking. I ran around today and, did some errands, and the kids were out there knocking on the door while I'm doing this YouTube, talking about, they want to come in here. And believe me, if I let myself go and not do something I like to do, I wouldn't do it at all. If I just, because remember, kids when they're growing up and they don't understand. They're selfish. They want everything me, 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 because that's how it is until you teach them that it's not only you. There's others, siblings or other people in your life that you have to give some time to as well. So kids are selfish. They are. But it's your responsibility to teach them, like, okay, I gave you this, or I spent some time with you. It's somebody else's turn, or just hold on. You have to be fair. Let's do this with someone else, or you have to give mommy and daddy time. So it's up to you to teach them that it's not all about them all the time, because that's the mistake we make. It's all about them, and they grow up to be little selfish people. And then you're sitting there wondering, why is this kid like this? But yeah, it's okay, moms. It's okay, dads, to be a little selfish and just think about yourself and make yourself happy, so your kids can be happy and your family can be happy and you have a happy and healthy household. So that was my little spiel for the day. If you guys have any questions or any comments from me, or even maybe give me some tips as well, because like I said, I'm not the really the know-it-all of parenting. I'm still learning other things as I go along the way. I have a teenager now. That's a whole different story, a whole different experience. I have little ones still in elementary school, so I'm learning. I'm learning as I go as well. We're not perfect. We will never be perfect parents. We will make mistakes, but we can correct those mistakes and try to do better always. So guys, any comments, any questions, you already know. Link down below. Comment down below, If you like the video, like it, subscribe, and like I said, I'll see you in the next one. And by the way, just a little piece of information. The last time I was on the video, I said that we were going on vacation, like it was a surprise thing. And I'm saying it low because I'm sure the kids are like behind the door. We are going to do that. It's a surprise, like I said, but we had to reschedule it because of something that happened, and I'm not gonna say what it is, because then it'll let the cat out of the bag, and then you guys will know what it is. But we did reschedule it. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be. I had just 1 week left to go, and I'm very disappointed, but it's okay. We rescheduled it, and we're definitely, God willing, going in May. Have to wait 2 more months, but yeah, something happened, which I'm not gonna say now. I will discuss it later when the time comes, why we weren't able to go now, but we rescheduled it for May. We're all healthy. It's not that way you think, but yeah, I'll explain at a later time. So have a good night, guys. My window is dark out. The kids are banging on the door once again. Their little me selves need their moms. So I'm gonna let you off here. Have a great day, and I'll see you until the next one. Peace.